Hi everyone, I wanted to go over the answers for our lab activity 7.2, which kind of went along with activity 6 and looking at catching. So what I'm going over is subject 6, 8, 10, and 12. These are the non-guided catchers that you were assigned. So we'll look at subject 6 first, or catcher number 6. So the first thing we're going to look at is the arm action, and this first one I'll go a little bit more in depth in the observational plan that we have. So the first thing we look at when we look at arm action is, do the arms move to adapt to ball arrival? And in this video, if we go like this, we can see she does move her arms to adapt. Okay. So then we have to evaluate, does she trap the ball against her chest, or does she catch it in her hands? Okay. So if it's trapped next to the chest, we can see pretty much, oh no, it's lag. There we go, right? So it's trapped against her chest. She doesn't really just catch it with her hands. So we definitely know she's not a step 4. But then we have to look at, is she doing more of a hugging motion or a scooping motion? And the difference between these two, if we look back at our table here, hugging, the arms extend sideways to encircle the ball, versus scooping, they kind of move under the ball. So you're kind of looking at the direction of hand facing, but in general how the arms are working as a whole. So for her, it kind of makes more sense that she's hugging because her arms kind of wrap around the ball in a sideways fashion. So that's how we get a step 2 for her arm action. I'll scroll back down here. For the hand action, we also have a level 2, and we're looking at the facing of the palms. So do they face inward? And that's kind of like the first question we ask ourselves. So as we watch her catch the ball, I think at ball contact, her palms are facing inward. So if we say yes, do the hands adjust to the flight and size of the ball such that the fingers are pointing up for high level or down for low level? This is kind of at her chest, and the palms are facing directly inward, so we keep her at a step 2 for hand action. The last component we look at is body action. So going back to our observational plan, does the body move to adjust to the flight of the ball? If we have no adjustment, that means they're kind of just standing there. Okay, which for the most part, she takes an itty bitty step, but I would say that's kind of negligible. So thus we would give her a step 1 or level 1 in body action. For subject number 8, we'll scroll down here. Okay. Again, we'll start off with our arm action. So again, looking at our observational plan, right? We're trying to see, is there little response to the flight path of the ball? Are they hugging it to their chest, scooping it into their chest, or are they catching it in their hands? So for this girl, her arms are adjusting. We can see that. So she's definitely not level 1. And then at the point of contact, you can see her palms end up facing forward and her arms kind of are underneath the ball. So that's how we get a scooping level for her arm action. For hand action, I had put that she could either be a step 2 or 3. I would probably go for either one, and it kind of depends on when you look at the point of contact. So when she catches the ball here, you could argue that like right when she catches it, her palms are facing inward, but some people might also see this as fingers pointing upwards. Now, The book argues that she is a level 2. I think that she's more of a level 2. But because like usually when the palms are facing or like fingers are facing upward, the palms would be facing outward, and that would be for a high trajectory ball. So it kind of depends on how you interpret how everything is written, but I would accept a 2 or 3 for this one. In terms of body action, again, we're trying to see, do they adjust to the flight path? Right? And we notice she does move to a certain degree, and it's fairly delayed, or at least that's what they call it here, delayed adjustment. So she's kind of waiting until that final flight like adjusts to where she can gauge where it's going to end up in space. So we would say that she's a level 3 for her body action, a delayed adjustment. For subject number 10, or catcher number 10, for her arm action, right at the point of contact, you can see she's more of a scooper. Okay. Some people still might see this as hugging, so I was going to accept a 2 or a 3 for arm action. In terms of hands, kind of similar to the previous example, her palms are actually facing more inwards at the point of ball contact, but some people might think that her fingers are adjusted because of the direction they are facing. So either one of those I would take for full credit. And then in terms of her body adjustment, she does have a delayed adjustment to the ball. You can see she takes a step there with her left foot. So we would say her body action is delayed, or a delayed adjustment as well. For subject 12, I'll drag this through here. Okay, if we look first at his arm action, the arms are moving to the flight path. We see that it makes direct contact with his hands. So going back here, we didn't really look at this one yet, but because the ball is directly caught in the hands and it's not trapped against the chest, that automatically gives us a step 4 where the arms are going to give or kind of absorb the force of the ball that's coming towards the body. So he would be a level 4 for arms. And then he's classified as a level 3 for hands. So if we look at where his fingers are facing, you see how they're adjustable. This is the actual level 3 positioning. So when the ball is kind of coming from a higher trajectory, we would say that the palms kind of face outward and the fingers point upwards. So this is what is actually meant by the book when we're talking about an adjustable palm or an adjustable hand position. But like I said, it's kind of open to interpretation. None of us are expert, observationists. I don't even know if that's a word, but none of us do this professionally. So there has to be some type of subjective leeway that we can give ourselves in this. Okay, but we would say he has adjustable hands or adjustable palms. And then for his body action, I think it's pretty clear that he's also a level 3. By having a delayed adjustment. Okay. In this textbook, unfortunately, they don't actually give us any premature adjustment examples, so none of these videos would have had a level 2. And I think I alluded to that either in the lecture or in the activity instructions. But hopefully that was helpful in kind of getting a sense of positioning. The kind of key point or key moment in catching is at the ball, or at the point of contact with the ball in hands. So usually if you're looking at hand position or if you're looking at arm position, it's what does it look like at the point of contact, right? Because a lot of things can change or happen either prior to the catch or after the catch that might influence a different decision on your behalf. Okay? Well, if you guys have any questions on these, please feel free to email me, and hopefully this video was helpful in clarifying any points of confusion.